Hi, my name is Rob Lee, and my passion is helping people like you improve their health and their life through plant-based nutrition. So glad you're joining me today. Let's get edumacated. I have Christine McDonald with me today. How are you, Christine?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, so we're going to talk about a raw food diet, and we have a lot of things to cover in this video. So what is a raw food diet? Let's just jump right into it.
A raw food diet is where you eat nothing cooked. If you do have raw nuts and seeds, you want to make sure they're soaked. But I do raw till dinner because I'm not all the way up there into the fully raw yet. But one day I believe that I will get there. So
And
I think
it's a diet that's primarily based on eating raw foods and limiting or excluding processed foods.
exactly.
Right.
And lots of juicing, smoothies, mono meals. Mono meals are where you just eat melon, or you just eat strawberries, or you just eat, whatever your favorite fruit is for that meal.
Right. If you're new to the channel, I've been doing plant-based also for about 7 years. Christina is 5 years now. And so just to give you a little background, we're both very much passionate and into this lifestyle. What is the most rewarding part of this dietary lifestyle, Christine? What is exciting about it? Why should people do this?
Well, it just makes you happy, really, because living sick isn't fun. And once you change your diet and get rid of the acids and start eating the alkaline fruits and vegetables, you begin to heal your body from the inside out. You feel better. It motivates you to do other things like work out, and you just get excited about life.
Right. And you've had a lot of health issues when you first started this journey. Do you want to mention some of those and then maybe how things have improved?
Yes, I had hereditary high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I had really bad anxiety. I would get migraine headaches. I had arthritis and gout, which was hereditary also. And I asked my doctor if I had to be on the medication for life, and he said yes. And that's when I decided that I was going to start looking up things of how I could get off my medications because they didn't help. Also, I had severe stomach issues, IBS-D. So that medication didn't work either. So all I could think about was, what if there was a catastrophe and I couldn't get my meds? Then what? So I needed to not need them. And so I began my life journey of just figuring out what heals the body and looking up studies, and I figured it out. It was fruits and vegetables. So I started there, and I started juicing, and I told my doctor that, and he watched me get off my medications. So that was pretty exciting.
That's fantastic. So you had a lot of health issues.
Yes, I was very sick every day, and I sometimes didn't even want to leave the house because I was so sick. And I was a runner too, so I was running, trying to do half marathons and trying to get in shape by just using exercise. And I realized that it is 90% diet, 10% workout.
That's correct. And so many people focus on their workouts, but they totally forget that their diet is number one, and you cannot exercise away a bad diet.
Exactly.
Yes.
And when you work out, you get hungry, and then you eat bad until you change your diet and learn how to eat. So many people just don't know. And I should have known because I started as a vegetarian in 11th grade, and I just lost track of that when I grew up and had kids and everything. So I had to learn the hard way again. So
a lot of people watching this video might have just started considering transitioning to a raw food diet, plant-based. What tips or helpful advice would you have, Christine, for someone who's considering it?
My biggest advice to people that are just starting out is to just start somewhere. I started with juicing, so I just got myself a juicer. I got a cheap juicer just in case I didn't stick with it, and then now I've been sticking with it for 5 years. So then I invested in a little bit of a better one, once my first two broke that were cheap.
Right.
And but the juicing alone, if that's all you do, that's my number one tip is just
Or
get the nutrients into your body.
or making green smoothies, right? Because there's a
And green
difference in
smoothies are good too
juicing
because
and making
yeah,
green smoothies. For instance, the Ninja, the NutriBullet, and the Vitamix are excellent
yeah,
tools that can help you make green smoothies. And that's how I started out in this journey 7 years.
good.
I started with that, started just throwing a ton of micronutrients into my body with blending all of these fresh fruits and vegetables and then drinking them daily. And that's what got me started and motivated on this whole journey
Yeah,
too.
it makes you feel good. You're putting all those nutrients in your body, and then you go, why would I put this junk food now in my body? Because I feel so good already, you know? And then you just learn to listen to your body and it starts to speak to you. And then you can feel the things that don't heal you, you know, and like if you try and go back and forth, which a lot of people do, they'll be healthy and then they'll go, well, now I can eat my favorite food again. And then you realize, wow, I used to feel sick all the time. And now it's only when I put that food in me. So you just kind of want to eliminate it eventually.
Yes. And you've been doing this for about 5 years and helping educate a lot of people. You're a coach. You have a certificate from e-Cornell University, correct?
Yes, correct.
So what would you say the most challenging part is for people? Because, and I have some thoughts on that myself. Where, most people, the majority of people are consuming the standard American diet, which is SAD. That's the acronym. So they're eating primarily processed foods and animal products. So what would you say for someone who is trying to do this to help them to get started?
Um, One of the things I always tell people is, well, I baby stepped. I knew that if I didn't baby step, that I'd end up quitting, and I didn't want to quit. I wanted to feel better, and that was my goal, was get off the meds. So start somewhere. Wherever you start, just baby step your way away from the bad things. And if you make a mistake, don't quit because you just pick up where you left off. A lot of people will just quit because they say it doesn't work for me, or they'll just quit before they started getting better. But just don't quit. Keep moving forward slowly if you have to, and just keep educating yourself because people need to have that positive motivation daily. I mean, I listen to a new health thing daily, and that helps keep me motivated so that I can keep motivating other people as well. So um, you definitely need to hear it, I think, every day. Otherwise, you start hearing all the bad stuff around you and all the commercials and things like that. And you want to put it in you so that you can, you need to hear it and then you start to live it. So
Yeah, because it becomes a lifestyle, which is what happens. But in the beginning, it's just like anything. It's a learning process. You're learning something new, just like you learn to ride a bike. You have the
yeah,
training wheels on, and you fall off, and you're not that good at it, and you just get back up and you hop back on it, and you keep riding it, and the next thing you know, you look back and oh my gosh, if your dad was helping you ride, there's nobody holding you, and there,
yeah.
you know,
And I always say, don't beat yourself up either because you're loving yourself to help. You want to love yourself there and don't beat yourself up if you make mistakes, things like that. That's how you learn and that's how you grow stronger. So, um,
and
yeah,
you will get off track, and you may do it several times before you get
yeah,
this right. It took me quite a while to really make this a lifestyle to where I don't even think about it. For the most part, I just get up. This is how you eat, right, Christine?
and you
That's how.
forget that you started somewhere too, and you forget how many mistakes you used to make, and you still make them sometimes. And so that's my goal with my page and everything is just to help people to not make the same mistakes that I made and to help lead them down the direction where they're not going in 5 different directions, things like that. Because people want to try everything first before they, figure it out, especially with all the new diets that come out. And then they hear all, they want to lose weight fast, things like that. But healing takes time. It takes a lifetime to get to where you're sick of wrong eating. And so you've got to give yourself that grace period to allow those healing foods to begin to heal you. But people start feeling better within 2 weeks, and then it can take up to a year to get rid of all those acids, and then even longer for the stuff that has been stored inside for a very long time. So.
Right. And I've done interviews, and some of these changes, you can start noticing things within a few days, even little more energy, or
Oh yeah.
just different changes that happen within you. You can start noticing, but it varies for everybody. Um, so what's a typical day look like for Christine in eating?
Every day I try not to eat right away, but if I'm hungry, I will. But for the most part, I usually just kind of ease into the morning, and I'll either make a juice or a smoothie. Lately, it's been smoothies, and that's because I have a slow juicer now. I did have the Jack LaLanne that was quicker. The slow juicer are better for you, but sometimes I just want to hurry up and blend up something and drink it right away if I'm hungry. So lately, every morning I've been doing a young Thai coconut. I open it up and I pour in the coconut water, and I have banana, pineapple, and just a little bit of stevia, and just blend that together. And I make enough to have a couple of those, and I share them with the family as well. And then I make the hugest salad for lunch, and my husband usually gets home around either 2 o'clock or 5 o'clock, depending. So I always make that huge salad for both of us, and so big that it overfills the whole entire plate. And sometimes I don't even eat anything after that because I get so full. I make homemade cashew ranch or cashew Caesar dressing, and you just take the cashews and blend them with some water and seasonings and nutritional yeast, and it turns into an oil-free salad dressing. This year was the first year I let go of oils as well. That was one of my last things to let go. So I had to learn new tricks this year.
I know you do a lot of cooking, and you actually have a lot of people following you. One is one of your Facebook pages or website, Christine?
Alkaline Meals for Health and Wellness is my Facebook page, and then I have a group that is a little bit backwards of that. It's Healthy Alkaline Healing Meals. And then I have a couple of small other pages like the Soup Salad and Juice Girl, um, because I just like to share so many things that I like to not do it all at once. So it's nice to have different little places to put them. And I also have a page called Healthy Habits as well.
I know for a lot of people, the biggest challenge, like I lived separately and single for a while, and it can make it a lot easier because it's just you there. You purchase all these great
Yeah.
healthy foods. The first step that I did is, and this is an excellent tip, remove all of the processed and junk foods from your house the best you can, and then restock with all these living raw foods, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, beans, lentils, and so on, microgreens. And so all of these foods are there, and you're not tempted. But for someone who has a spouse, a husband, a wife, whatever, that they live with, and they're not all on board with this, what advice would you give them?
My advice is that this is a personal journey, and it's no other journey for anybody else but you, because you're healing yourself first, because you can't really heal anybody else that doesn't want to do it first. You got to do it for yourself first, and you become a leader. So people start to see, people in your household, which would be my husband and my kids, started to see mommy doing these things. Mommy would offer them or to my husband, and of course food is addiction. You know, people are addicted to food. So I decided to not care what they still ate. I still made my husband his burgers the way he liked them because I'm his wife. And of course, I started to look into, the sadness of how the animals are treated and things like that. But I couldn't go there like all the way because my family still ate that way. So I just focused on me, on healing me. And through the years, my husband would jump on board here and there. And this year, he finally jumped on board 5 years later. January, he did the Veganuary challenge with me. And I didn't expect anything from him because in the past, I've seen him go in and out. And this year, he's stuck with it. And so far, we are almost in July, and he's lost a ton of weight and he feels great. And when he has made those occasional little mistakes, boom, he just can't wait to get back to healthy because of how good he feels now. And he doesn't want to go backwards anymore. And my kids have jumped on too. I'll always offer them those healthy things. And I've always done little trades with them, if they want their junk, I get the healthiest version possible. there is of macaroni or whatever they like, but they always have to trade for it. Like, you've got to have your banana, or you've got to have an apple, you've got to have a pineapple, you want a smoothie, you want some fresh juice. I make popsicles for them that are super healthy and taste good out of just the carrot apple juice or whatever I'm making, and smoothie popsicles. So they have options, and they slowly are moving into vegan too. So um, it's just wonderful. Everybody has to take their time to get there, and I don't push it. And the only thing I do is make sure that I'm doing what I can do for myself, and then share it with them, and they slowly move into it. So
Well, that's
that's,
super. I'm so excited that your husband is on board with this and your kids are
yeah, finally, it's
they're
wonderful.
adopting or at least trying to do this lifestyle also. And that's what I do too is, it's not about pushing anybody into anything. Everybody has their own time, for example, in their life. But my job, I feel, is to give people this information, put it in front of them so at least they have an opportunity to get the correct information on how these foods are so healing for the body and how it can change your life, because everywhere around us it's just the opposite message we're being told, to eat unhealthy, or all of these foods are unhealthy is what I'm trying to say. And so they're everywhere, and this information isn't always easy to access unless you look for it, like this video and so many other videos that, this is an incredible time to live in right now with the internet and access to all this stuff.
And, being at our age, well, I'm 44, now we're just seeing people get sick all the time, and in and out of the hospital, and even friends dying and things like that. And when you start to see that, you start to realize that actually you can prevent that for yourself and even reverse it before it even happens. Um, it makes a world of difference for everybody around you when you start to do that for yourself. And then people want to know, people want to get better. So, it's a wonderful thing to be able to get better yourself and then share it with the world. I only share it with the people that ask, because you can never push it down anybody's throats. So I've learned that the hard way as well.
There's some people, unfortunately, that will just never adopt this lifestyle, and that's okay.
Right,
But we're trying to reach the people who want this, like
right.
watching right now. So if you get invited to, it can be easy to stay on track once you get used to this lifestyle. But then there are always things that come up. There's birthday parties, there's anniversaries. Maybe you just go over to a friend's house and you see them eating the standard American diet, like most people are. Any tips or advice, Christine, for helping you stay on track when you get invited to these things?
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I baby stepped. So I started with the meatless Mondays. That's how I started. And then moving forward, like I at first would be like, well, I'm going to eat it on a holiday. But when you realize how your body reacts to that, you want to stay on track. You don't want to get sick again. So, like, I would get myself so sick just from that one deciding of having that, because they're doing it now. I don't want to get sick anymore. So, you can bring your own things. If you're going to a party, bring 3 of your favorite salads. And if nobody eats it, at least you've got it, My mom brings her own salad dressing to the restaurant with her. She's vegan now too. And she's not embarrassed of it. She'll do that. So, um, there are ways that, food is an addiction, but once you get rid of it, you don't want it anymore, because you just don't want what it does to you. So just keep practicing. Practice makes perfect. So the more practice you do, the better you get at it.
And one of the things that really helped me, and I still do this, if I know it's an occasion or it's a holiday and I'm going to my parents or my family or get invited somewhere, I will purposely eat all this plant food and fill up before I
Yeah,
go. So
that's good advice too.
when you
Yeah.
get there, you can politely just say, if you choose, no, thank you. I really appreciate your meal. It's really, thank you so much for making this, but I eat, or I'm really not that hungry. And then I pack a lunch with me. I have it in my car. So
Yeah.
if I do get hungry, as a backup, I always have a cooler in my car with ice packs. And if I ever get hungry and it's stocked full, I can just run out to my car for a little bit and start eating healthfully.
Great.
You want to have a backup plan. This is all about preparing, as you know, Christine.
Yes, it is. And the more healthy you eat, I have realized that even if I smell fast food now, it smells like chemicals. it doesn't make me hungry. So, like in the olden days, you'd smell it and you want to go drive in there. But I haven't been to fast food and I don't even know how long. And even if I went to, like, let's say Subway to get like a veggie sandwich, I would get sick from that because they put chemicals on those vegetables. And the bread, of course, is filled with pesticides. And my body would react so bad to that, those kinds of things that I just, now, I mean, as you continue to adapt to plant-based, your senses, everything changes, your taste buds, and you no longer even desire it. And that's the cool part.
Yeah, and when you're supplying your body with raw living foods, foods that have natural enzymes and tons of micronutrients and phytochemicals and fiber and all of these amazing things that God put here for us to be eating, this is the way we're meant to eat, then you start noticing health benefits and
And
away from the salt, the oil, and the sugar, SOS. And that's the acronym.
that's the diet you follow, which I like that. I had just heard about it yesterday when you said that.
Yeah.
Salt, say
So
it again.
SOS, so salt, oil, and sugar. Those are the most addictive substances, some of the most that they add to almost all processed foods. And so you
Right,
learn not to cook with those or add them into your diet. You try to avoid
right.
SOS free.
People that are cooking, that's how I got rid of the oil. Was I got an air fryer, and then I learned to make salad dressings without the oils.
Yeah.
Um, so it takes time to get there. Like, you can do celery salt instead of regular salt, things like that, to help you transition. It's all about transitioning as well. Whether you do it all at once or if you slowly transition, which I did it that way. Because once I kept learning something else is bad for me that I thought was good for me, I would get a little bit frustrated. But then I would go, let me research it more, and okay, well, I'll let it go when I'm ready. And then I slowly let go of things when I'm ready. And my husband's let go of a lot of things really quickly. And he just, I think from watching me constantly, he easily transitioned into it. So it's kind of cool watching him come home and want a veggie wrap instead of a burger. So
Yeah. Yeah, and you know that when he's eating healthily, and it's inspiring for you, and it works both ways to help each other, motivate you both. And yeah, so it's great. What other health benefits did you notice? You know, we talked about improved energy, any weight loss, any your improved mood. I know you dealt with depression and anxiety like I have for most, I don't know, for most of your life. I know I have, and I recovered from that.
good. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one with the anxiety. Um, I started with even St. John's wort. You can use herbs as well to help you when you first get started. And like I never took medication for the anxiety, so the St. John's wort really helped me in the beginning. And what's cool is that those herbs that can help you, you actually don't need them later because the the way that you eat kills you. So um, some people will buy a whole bunch of supplements and things like that, thinking they can do a quick fix of certain things that they're dealing with. But sure, they can assist you, but you won't need them for long if you continue this road. So that's the good news. I forgot the question though.
Oh, what other health benefits did you notice? Weight
Oh
loss,
yeah, lost weight. I
energy, and mood, and vitality.
had
Oh,
all of that, all of it. I mean, you go from being negative and not feeling well to and overweight, can't lose it no matter what you do, wondering why you think you eat healthy but it's not. Like I even went paleo first and was trying to do that, which any diet that eliminates some acid foods is going to start to help you at first, but you'll hit a wall, and so those walls are what you want to break down. And so as I continued to learn, and like you said, the food from God, that's exactly what happened to me. I was a runner. I was running one day, and I just said, Lord, what the truth? What do I need to do? And He told me to go back to the beginning. And the beginning meant the garden. And that's what He first intended for us. That's the way our bodies were created. And when you put that in you, that's how you heal. So later on, people ate meat only because of the flood, and it was only for survival. And then God was like, all right, they like it so much they can have it. Because the truth is that the real whole meaning of the Bible is Jesus, and that's about it, you know. So fighting over food isn't the best thing in the Bible, but if you want to heal, you got to go back to the beginning, and that's the truth. So
Yeah, you heal your body, and that's what this is about. Because everywhere we look, so many people everywhere, you know, somebody's got health conditions, whether it be high blood pressure or depression, or we know of people who have cancer, all of these things. So it's about taking care of yourself, and this diet helps to empower you. It helps you to feel good, and there's physiological changes that occur when you're eating raw living foods and plant-based, and they occur within inside you, and you become more connected, more compassionate, more caring for other human beings and life in general, and your whole outlook on life improves. And it's really exciting, and it's quite a transformation. And this happens. I've interviewed many people and talked to so many people, and this is all across the board. Improved energy and weight loss and all these side effects. I could go on and on.
the best part is living pain-free, because I had gout every day. Most girls don't get that. At my age, I started it at a young age, and my dad has it, you know, and my dad, he does the medication. He'd probably be mad at me that I didn't say anything. My mom's a vegan that juices and does everything great, and then he wants to go to the doctor and take his meds. But he's improving right now too, so I believe that he'll do better, you know, as my mom continues to steer him. But it's so nice to not need those medications and not have, like, Celebrex, the stuff I was taking for my ankle for my arthritis, it made me gain weight too. So it's like those medications cause so many other issues, and you don't even need them if you just change your diet. So, I mean, you could just start juicing celery and get rid of your high blood pressure. It's that simple. So,
Just like if you're vegan, you could eat Twinkies all day, and you still get
or Oreos. I didn't
more
know
Oreos.
Twinkies.
So vegan and plant-based are two different things. They can't be because you're avoiding animal products, but they are different because plant-based means you're focusing on primarily plant foods or exclusively. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly. You don't want that sugar for sure, because sugar even feeds cancer cells. So, um, yeah, I love vegans because they care so much about the animals, and so do I. But it makes me sad to see that a lot of them still are sick, and that just defeats the point. So, um, you want to care for the animals and yourself.
and it's self-care, not health-care. There are times, of course, that we do need healthcare, but I think society focuses way too much on that. We put way too much emphasis, and it really starts with taking care of ourselves,
Right.
empowering yourself, and it makes you feel so good that you know you're doing something that gives you the best chance at improving your life, your health, your longevity, and then living a great quality life. Because this isn't just about living to 100 years old. It's about thriving. It's about living life to the fullest and feeling your best every day. And that's what makes life worthwhile then. We don't want to be laying in a bed where we have people waiting on us, taking care of us if we're 70, 80, 100 years old. What good is that? That's not fun.
No, no, it isn't. I mean, even old age runs in my family. So, you know, I do not want to be sick like some of the people that I know in my family lived very old and sick. I don't want to be that way. I want to be out of the wheelchair and running around like a young person. So, that's the goal, because it's the fountain of youth is what it is. So
You
we
revere
can see
first.
our, you know, they say with age comes all these health issues and things, and it's just normal, but it's not. It
No,
doesn't have to be.
it's normal because this is the way most people eat, is the
Right.
Western diet, which is filled with processed foods, animal products, and about only less than 10% whole fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds and beans and living foods. You know, I
Right.
always say if you ran your car on that kind of gasoline, only 10% good quality or oil, how long is it going to run?
Mhm.
It's not going to be
Exactly.
good. And
People take better care of even their homes and everything, and they don't realize that they need to clean out their body as well. And what happens too, when you first get started and you've got to figure out, do you want to do higher fruits or higher greens like you started, because the fruits are actually really astringent and they're going to bring up those acids in the body, which can sometimes hurt. So I do believe starting with greens is a good way to start, and then move up in the fruits. Because like if you clean out a closet, or if you clean out, if you're dusting, all the dust gets everywhere. Well, those acids are going to start coming out of the body. So I always say, don't get discouraged when you feel that, because it'll be gone soon and you'll feel amazing. So, but I always try and tell people at first, if you do notice certain things, it's just because those acids are leaving, and it can hurt a little bit. So.
Yeah, and in the beginning, there's a lot of cleansing and detoxifying that's going on when you start eating this way. And you might start feeling worse before you start feeling better, just for the first few days or week, or even a little bit longer. But
Right.
your
And I
reward.
would have my gout come back every once in a while, and I would be like, now I know that it's actually still leaving me, where it's not flaring up all the time. And then if I did eat bad, it would literally flare up. And so you'll find out your triggers as you move forward. You'll notice what triggers those things when you eliminate them, and then you bring things back, just to try it out, because people do that. They'll be like, no, I don't want to trigger that again. And that's where you start to say, no, thank you. I would much rather eat a whole pineapple than a whole burger. You know what I mean? So
It tastes better after a while too, because you're
yeah,
tasting,
better.
and it's the way it makes you feel, and you're doing something good for your body. And I do want to mention, we mentioned St. John's wort. We mentioned, please check with your doctor on those medications, because they can have implications, whether it's a supplement or whatever. But yeah, this is all about empowering yourself and just taking control of your life. And it's a process. Don't feel discouraged if you get off track. Just keep trying to do better, and know that the rewards are so incredible. The way it changes you, the way it makes you feel, this lifestyle is so worth it. I wouldn't change it for my life. And it's the same, I'm sure, with you, Christine.
Those new people, just don't get discouraged and feel like you have to do everything at once. Just start somewhere. Start with juicing or smoothies, and then just move forward from there. And listen to these podcasts, and go watch these videos, and just encourage yourself and gain what you can from it.
Thank you, Christine. It's been a pleasure, and
Thank you for having me.
a lot of people, and you're welcome. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, know what your thoughts are. If you want to see more videos like this, leave those comments and click the like button, and consider subscribing to this channel. I'm doing more videos like this to help you. Many blessings. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks, Rob.